Welcome to another session. So, first of all, Happy New Year to all of you. Today, in this session, I'll be discussing the editorials of today, 1st of Jan, the first day of New Year. So, the first editorial that I'm going to take up is on, India's space program, which was written by former ISRO chairman S. Somnath. See, many people still think space is a luxury, right? Something for a rich country. But the key argument in the editorial is space is not for luxury, or space is not a luxury. Space is a democratic utility. Now, this is the term that I want to explain first, and then we will proceed with the other details which is explained in this editorial. So I'm trying to cover everything related to space. So this could help you in essays or whatever question you get from this area. So I have added some more points along with this. There could be some factual error that in case if there is any factual error, you can highlight, you can just change it also, but I'm trying to cover everything. So first, what does that mean when we say democratic utility? So when it comes to democratic, it's for every citizen. Utility means something which is useful, something which is necessary. So you can combine that, right? So the space technology is not for kings or for billionaires. It is for the farmers in village, the engineers in the cities, the disaster managers, the administrators, the students and the researchers, which means in short what, it's for everyone. Right, that's what you mean by democratic utility, for every citizen and something which is useful, something which is necessary. Now let's start with the historical foundation. The Vikram Sarabhai's vision, 1960s. We'll go back to 1960s. And if you look at it, in 1960s, see, we just got independent, right? Newly independent country and poor country. So at that time, people have questioned Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. First, you remove poverty. That should be the priority, right? And then why space program when the country is so poor and the poverty is at this level? So if you look at his answer, it was visionary. India's space program is not for competition nor for any show. It is to pull India out of poverty. So, see, using space applications, you can do a lot of things, right? And that way you can pull people out of poverty, like weather forecasting for farmers and satellite based education, which can reach to villages. And after 60 years, see where we are standing. That vision is becoming a reality. Yes, it took some 40, 60 years, but from where we are coming and from where we are, that vision have almost became a reality, right? Now, if you look at the proud moment in June 2025, the June 2025 group captain Subhanshu Shukla went to the International Space Station ISS. So let me clarify very quickly. ISS is a large space station orbiting Earth around 400-kilometer altitude, and it was launched by a collaboration of US, Russia, Europe, Japan. So astronauts do experiments there, right? So Subhanshu Shukla hoisted the tricolor there, and when he video called Mr. PM Modi, it was not just a call, right? It became a proud national moment, you can say. So Prime Minister Modi called it as defining chapter of Amrit Kal, right? So now the next one which I can discuss is about Chandrayaan 3. 23rd August 2023. So remember the date, 23rd August 2023, Chandrayaan 3 successfully landed near the moon's south pole. So why is the south pole is very special? It has permanently shadowed areas, right? Sunlight never reaches there. And scientists believe water may exist there, and no country have safely landed there before. Russia tried and crashed. India earlier tried and crashed, but India succeeded in the second attempt. And India became the first country to safely land near the moon's south pole before US, Russia, China. So Prime Minister Modi said India is now on moon, right? And I remember that day in stock market also, the opening was huge and I got a massive profit on that day. So I made a 30 lakh profit on that day. I still remember, and I've done a video also on that day. Okay, now what is the impact of it? The entire country watched it and the classrooms got motivated. The children felt we also want to do science and all those, right? Then if you look at this Chandrayaan mission journey, I'll talk about some facts. Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3, if they ask any questions. Chandrayaan 1 is in 2008. So that's India's first moon mission. And it in fact actually discovered water molecules on the moon, and it was an orbiter, which means it did not land. So next is Chandrayaan 2 in 2019 after 11 years. So orbiter succeeded and is still orbiting the moon. And the lander Vikram crashed at the last moment. So the orbiter did work well, but The lander actually crashed in the last moment, Vikram. Okay. The third one, so Chandrayaan 3 in 2003, after 4 years, so achieved the soft landing, deployed rover Pragyan, and rover worked for 14 days and moved around and performed experiments. So when we talk about soft landing and hard landing, what does that mean? When we talk about soft landing, that's safe, that's controlled, no destruction. When we talk about hard landing, it's like a crashed like impact. So here the mission destroyed when we say hard landing. Now, if you see India's role as a global space power, India is now counted among the top 4 or 5 space nations. And if you look at the major achievements, see, foreign satellite launches. India has launched almost 400 plus foreign satellites using Indian rockets. So now, why do countries come to India for this? Because cheaper launches, high reliability and the success ratio, and strong PSLV capability. Now, Mangalyaan 2014, that's another achievement, right? So, Mars orbiter mission was successful in the very first attempt. US, Russia, Europe, they needed multiple attempt earlier. And if you look at the cost story, Mangalyaan, our cost was around 450 crore, which is less than, at that time it was very much in the news that Hollywood movie Gravity budget, right? It was around 650 crore. So below that, we have done Mangalyaan with 450 crore. So India launched a Mars mission cheaper than a Hollywood movie budget. Now coming to 2023, Aditya L1. See, that's for studying sun from Lagrange point, that is L1. So if I want to give some basics on this, there are 5 Lagrange points, L1, L5, just like our disk, right? L1, L2, L3. So L1 lies between Earth and Sun, where the gravitational force balances. So the spacecraft stays stable over there. That's L1. So, and L1, Aditya L1, if you see, that studies sun's corona, space weather. Space weather matters because solar particles or solar flares, it can disrupt. Then it studies the satellites, the power grids, communications. So, you know, you get the early warnings and that actually help the preparedness. The next one in 2024, XPOSat, right? That's for studying black holes via X-rays. So black holes means the gravity is like, if you see, the gravity is so strong that even light cannot escape there. Now 2024 again, space DEX. So again, achieved in orbit docking. So docking means you see two spacecraft orbiting, match speed and direction and then connect, right? So it's like two cyclists moving together and shaking hands without stopping. So just 1 minute. Hello? Office Office So I hope you got the point, right? So docking means the two spacecraft they orbit, and at one point they like two cyclists, right? They come and they match the speed, the direction, and they'll give shake hand. Just like that, two orbits, their speed will be matching, the direction also, and then they get connected. That's what you mean by docking. Why it is important? Because it will help to build a space station, right? The parts will be sent separately and it must be joined in orbit. Now, what is a roadmap to 2047? That's the India's big space goal. So let's talk about Gaganyaan, right? So Gaganyaan, human space flight. So that's the target 2027. So 4 Air Force pilots are training and astronauts will be called Vyomnauts, and budget as of now it's around 2000 crore. Only US, Russia, China have sent humans to space on their own, and India aims to be the fourth. Okay, then now Chandrayaan 4 and Chandrayaan 5. So we discussed Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3, now 4 and 5. So Chandrayaan 4, like sample return mission, right? So that will bring moon soil back to Earth. That's the idea. And then Shukrayaan, that's the Venus mission. So again, Venus is small in size when you compare it with Earth, but extremely hot. So with this mission, it will help to understand the planetary evolution. Now, 2040 target. So the India targets and Indians to step on the moon by 2040. So far, only US astronauts have done it, right? That Apollo mission. Prime Minister Modi have said that India is building a pool of 40, 50 astronauts, and Indians will step on the moon by 2040. So again, by 2035, India's own space station, India aims to launch a Bharatiya Antariksh station by 2035. These are, future plans. Now, how space is connected with daily life, how it is actually helping common people. This is what we need to understand more for your main answer, right? Like disaster warning, like you can predict cyclone 3 4 days earlier, so that it will help in saving lives, evacuation is possible. Then how it is helping the fishermen, the satellite data that shows potential fishing zones, right, so that it will help you to catch fish with less fuel and more catch because you are getting that fishing zone. And then how it is helping the agriculture, the crop monitoring, crop insurance support, soil health and decisions, right? So all these again are functions or help it can get from space when it comes to the daily life. Railways, the route safety monitoring, landslide prone identification, and then the navigation. So even the system can prevent the collision, right? So these are advantages. So by involving the satellites, you can prevent collision possibilities also. Now the economic boom, the private sector entry that expanded the possibility also. So all these are what we can discuss and what you have seen in the editorial. Now let's also talk about the private sector. As I've told you, space economic boom. Earlier, who monopolized? It's ISRO. Now the private entry is getting easier. The rules have changed in 2020. So in space is created. So that means Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. So the budget growth, if you see 2013-14, it's 5615 crore. Now 2025-26, it's almost close to triple, almost three times, 13,416 crore from 5,615 crore. So if you look at the space economy size, the current size is, almost 8 billion. And the projected size is 44 billion by 2040. And India has 350 plus startups which are active, as mentioned in the editorial, which are building satellites or related to the space sector. For example, Skyroot Aerospace, right? So the first private Indian company to launch rocket Vikram S, and Acnigul Cosmos that built a 3D printed rocket engine also. Again, new technologies are coming, which are again mentioned in the editorial. Semi-cryogenic engine, which is more powerful. Electric propulsion, which give more efficiency, fuel efficiency, and the quantum communication, like it is hack proof, and small satellites, which will be more cheap and it could be task specific. Now the youth engagement and all these are there, right? So the editorial is also talking about, space success depend on youth interest in STEM. For example, International Olympiad hosted by India in August 2025, and 60 countries have participated. And Indian students won many medals over there, hackathons, ISRO robotics, uh, all these are building the real exposure. So India treats space as a global common. Now, South Asia satellites for neighbors, which is like free communication, and G20 satellite for climate monitoring. And there are collaborations like NISAR with NASA, that's a radar satellite, and Trishna with France, LUPEX with Japan, that's for moon exploration, Proba with the European Space Agency. So there are a lot of collaborations also going on. Right. And that's basically reflect what the one which we discussed in your ethics paper was Sudeva Kudumbagam. Right now, see, if you look at it, India's space journey is not only about rockets and satellites, it's a self-discovery of a nation. So when Sudhanshu Shukla salutes from the ISS, or when startups rise from small towns, what does that show? India is not only a participant, India is moving towards becoming a creator. So that's why this editorial is very important related to space. If you get an essay, you have enough and more content if you go through this editorial. So that's exactly what I've discussed. So thank you so much. We'll see in another video. And if you're looking for any classes or mentorship or test series, you can get in touch with us. See you there. Thank you.